right, so this is part of the Broadsign webinar series, and today we will be talking about using programmatic digital out of home to create omni-channel ad experiences. And I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Drew. I'm from the Programmatic Partnerships team, the North American team specifically, and lately it just seems like going on hikes with my son and my wife and having my son run around on a balance bike or ride around on a balance bike has been giving us some sanity, and I'm sure everyone can relate. If you ever want to talk about food, golf, or fishing, I'm more than happy to do so. And I encourage everyone to post their favorite recipes and golf courses or even fishing spots within the Zoom chat, if that's something that the group can relate to. I know, it's a bit of a new norm we're going through, but it's really good to have everyone on the call today. And thank you for attending. I think we're at 84 participants now, so that's an excellent turnout. Kudos to the marketing team at Broadsign for putting this all together and allowing everyone to come together to see this. It's great. So I'll dive into the presentation and the intro. Neurological researchers at the University of Toronto and the University of London conducted 2 studies related to how the brain perceives art. And looking at art led to increased activity in the brain systems that underlie the conscious processing of new information. And when a person views art that they find beautiful, it triggers an immediate release of dopamine into the brain. And that's a chemical related to the feelings of love, pleasure, and desire. And the brain decides whether it likes or dislikes a piece of art in under 330 milliseconds, or as long as a camera flash. So you're probably wondering, why is this relevant? Why is this important? And the reason why is that programmatic digital out of home offers a brand building canvas for digital buyers that we haven't had access to previously. It's a large format, full motion, video enabled, place-based media. And as you can see from this quick snapshot, it's pretty hard to ignore that beautiful piece of media. And now with the emergence of programmatic, there are measurable, attributable ways to implement campaigns. So what is programmatic digital out of home? It's the use of automation and data to discover audiences and activate out of home screens. And it's an automated process where data, technology, and software consolidate information into a single dashboard. Broadsign is an organization that offers a tremendous amount of traditional buying tools for digital out of home network operators. But what we've noticed is that there's a full stack of solutions that can be offered to our partners. And we noticed an opportunity to solve some complex challenges for media buying teams. Therefore, we provide publishers with an opportunity to sell their inventory programmatically, and that's digital out of home publishers specifically. The benefits of programmatic is that there is access to inventory in a single dashboard, and it allows for automated reporting. There's real-time optimizations that can be used and can happen frequently, and there's an execution that can be based on many triggers such as time of day, traffic, weather conditions, and proximity to social events. The reason why programmatic is a little different than traditional buys is that it's based on a publisher agnostic approach, and also offers a complement to traditional buying that is not necessarily something that is available from a programmatic standpoint. So According to studies from Nielsen, Analytic Partners, and on-device research, digital out-of-home and an omni-channel campaign can provide a 303% increase in reach when added to mobile or web messaging. There is increases in online activations through search and social by 4 times the expected rate, given the relative ad spend in those medium forms. And it drives 4 times more online activity per ad dollar spent than TV, radio, or print alone. And combined with social media messaging, it lifts foot traffic by an average of 68%. And if you're looking for some sources on this, what we can do is send out that information once we're done. It's from some excellent studies and a white paper that was conducted by Xaxis and includes information from Nielsen and some excellent data partners. So you're probably wondering, where do media buyers access programmatic digital out-of-home inventory? There's 2 options for sophisticated digital marketers or digital buyers. There's a bespoke digital out-of-home DSP option, which provides a UI and UX and workflows that are dedicated specifically to digital out-of-home. And there's an omnichannel DSP option, whereby there are agnostic workflows with multiple media formats, powerful targeting, attribution, and identity management. And if we were kind of to go back to our university days when things were a little simpler, if we were to refer to the diffusion of innovation theory, the benchmark would be that bespoke digital out-of-home DSPs would be considered the innovators or early adopters, and then the omnichannel DSPs would be considered the early majority. And this competition has really helped drive the product lifecycle and innovation within the sector. So when related to craft cocktails or sandwiches, bespoke is kind of a cliche word to use, but it aligns nicely with dedicated digital out-of-home DSPs. The word itself dates back to 1583, and it has British roots and is defined as made to order. Now, it's interestingly, after the Industrial Revolution, it became a descriptor of specially commissioned products. Mark from Outmove, one of our partner DSPs within the bespoke digital out-of-home space, describes his product as a finely tuned and perfectly sharpened chef's knife, which I thought was an elegant way of describing things. And if user experience and user interface that is built for digital out-of-home is important to you, bespoke is an excellent option. There's robust planning tools, and they are agile and quickly adapt new technology. In regards to omni-channel DSPs, if I were to visualize an omni-channel DSP, it would be the fully equipped stainless steel tool chest that was put in a garage as part of a home makeover show. They have agnostic workflows with media formats that are available at the click of a mouse. There's powerful targeting and attribution and identity management, and they're well equipped to offer premium digital formats as well as direct response formats. And digital buyers generally have a tremendous amount of loyalty to their preferred platforms due to their identity management and audience targeting. So this is an excellent opportunity for digital buyers to inquire about programmatic digital out-of-home with their omni-channel DSP partners. Okay, this is all great to know. I'm sure you're wondering when we're going to go over the omni-channel ad experiences. There's 3 key pillars of omni-channel ad experiences when executing a programmatic digital out-of-home campaign. There's planning and discovery, which is a format agnostic and publisher agnostic approach to programmatic digital out-of-home that targets ad faces based on an audience index. There's retargeting that offers the ability to retarget audiences that have been exposed to publisher agnostic programmatic digital out-of-home. And this retargeting can occur on omni-channel ad formats. Proximity triggering, that's a geofence around a desired out-of-home ad location that triggers mobile ad serving based on mobile device IDs that are in proximity to a place-based form of media. So moving into a little bit more detail on planning and discovery and pillar number 1. Planning and discovery is based on a persona that a brand creates. And this persona, it stems from things like geo-behavioral traits, recency traits, loyalty traits, and seasonality traits. And those brand personas are able to be matched against digital out of home or programmatic digital out of home ad faces that index highly against that persona. Therefore, the brand is only activating campaigns that have screens or ad faces that align and index highly against their brand persona. And it increases efficiencies and targeting capabilities at the campaign level. The index is generally done based on geospatial patterns, and the marketers are able to understand those patterns based on benchmarks and high propensity of an audience being around a specific ad face. So what this allows marketers to do is hone in on an audience-based approach within a generally place-based type of medium, such as digital out of home, and it applies programmatic audience targeting to a traditional format of media. A retargeting use case would be, let's say Sally needs some health food. On the way to the grocery store, she's exposed to a roadside ad unit. And then upon entry into the grocery store, she's also exposed to a grocery digital out of home ad unit. What we're able to do in conjunction with our partners is build an exposed audience base and retarget that exposed audience base with in-home media. Therefore, we're able to layer that retargeting segment on top of connected TV, apps, web. While Sally's listening to a podcast or playing an online game, she could have an ad served to her because she was probabilistically exposed to a digital out of home ad unit or browsing social. So it's a powerful tool that allows marketers the necessary measurement for direct response and brand efforts. A proximity use case would be Sally needs some health food. She goes to the grocery store. As she's entering the grocery store, she sees a beautiful ad face that is full motion and digital out of home based. And as she's in the grocery store, Sally decides to also browse a recipe or check the weather. And while she's browsing and checking the weather or checking that recipe, an ad is triggered and she sees a consistent brand message at the point of entry into the grocery store via the digital out of home ad face, as well as via her mobile device. And this occurs because there's a real-time proximity trigger that can enable mobile ads to be served while Sally's browsing her phone within the grocery store. I know most of us are probably wondering, how is this achieved? And we can go on for days and debate about identity, but the short answer is that building audiences based on out-of-home exposure is a hybrid between the development of audience insights for segmentation and targeting, and also offline to offline targeting. And the key to success is working with the appropriate partners to implement ingestion, management, resolution, output, and activation of those exposed audiences. And there's a growing appetite for identity solutions, and marketers are sourcing the tools, data, and expertise needed to recognize audiences across all addressable touch points. And what we can do is work collaboratively to figure out how to incorporate programmatic digital out of home into audience and identity by using programmatic digital out-of-home locations as the foundation to planning, retargeting, and proximity triggering. In regards to a workflow and how this all comes to fruition from an activation standpoint, if a campaign, a programmatic digital out-of-home campaign that is being executed with an omnichannel DSP, generally the omnichannel DSPs have most of the necessary information to implement retargeting and proximity triggering on their own. In certain cases, we need to use a consultative approach. But there's two kind of angles or directions that marketers can take in regards to activating retargeting proximity campaigns. One is an extension to brand building efforts, whereby the audiences are passed to the DSP's data marketplace, and the buyer or the person with hands behind keyboard is able to select the retargeting or proximity trigger just the way they would select a affinity audience or a auto intender audience within their dashboard that they use for targeting. And those segments can then be layered on top of connected TV, audio, console gaming, or other brand formats from a retargeting standpoint, more of an omnichannel approach. From a proximity trigger standpoint, for an extension to brand building efforts, those can be layered on top of mobile display or mobile video or any type of mobile format. So therefore, since the trigger is layered on top of the media format, there's a real-time proximity trigger that occurs, and the ad is served when a person is in close proximity to an out-of-home ad face. In regards to the complement to direct response, retargeting and proximity are accessed the same way as they would be for an extension of brand building efforts. They're within the data marketplace, and those can then be layered on top of any type of programmatic media format that's optimized towards direct response. The reason why the complement to direct response efforts is something that's beneficial to marketers is that you're able to implement attribution models that are based on programmatic digital out-of-home campaigns and exposure. And this is something that it's being done, but it's still fairly new, and we're still working towards getting measurable results from programmatic digital out-of-home within an omni-channel environment. But the biggest thing is that if we have the foundation and we set things up properly, then technically marketers are able to leverage programmatic digital out-of-home supply or programmatic digital out-of-home campaigns to have measurable, attributable extensions to brand building efforts, or use it as a complement to direct response. And this is something that's fairly new. It's unique to programmatic digital out-of-home because there is a publisher agnostic approach, and it makes things quite measurable at the buy side. So if you activate a campaign, a programmatic digital out-of-home campaign that is within a bespoke digital out-of-home DSP, there's still an opportunity to share that information with an omni-channel demand-side platform. The way that would work is a marketer would execute the campaign within the bespoke digital out-of-home user interface that's dedicated to digital out-of-home workflows. All the analytics and all the data and all the campaign metrics surrounding the digital out-of-home component would be within the bespoke dashboard. But the bespoke digital out-of-home DSP would have to export location data of where the ads were served or polygons of where the ads were served, and then pass that over to the omni-channel demand-side platform, whereby they'd be able to set up the extension to brand building efforts or complement to direct response efforts within the omni-channel demand-side platform. In certain cases, we're seeing bespoke digital out-of-home DSPs also have omni-channel components, but generally this is the workflow, and there needs to be some sort of a coordinated effort between the ad agency, the client, and the omni-channel DSP in order to pass the information over. But we're seeing that the information is available. It's just a matter of sorting out the workflows and working closely with our partners to execute. So kind of full circle, we wanted to go over a few trends and predictions and how all of the aforementioned topics that we kind of went over will come to fruition in the future. So the current situation and crisis will increase the demand for omni-channel executions, and marketers will have a strong focus on outlining identity solutions for programmatic digital out-of-home so they can communicate things like return on ad spend, cost per acquisition, or anything from a brand lift standpoint. That's something that we can set up. It's able to be measurable. So there's likely going to be some increased adoption to information sharing between programmatic digital out-of-home and other media formats. Bespoke digital out-of-home DSPs will continue to offer an excellent user interface and user experience, but will likely have to adapt to a more open ecosystem as identity management continues to be a priority for sophisticated marketers. Cross-device identity solutions will allow marketers to implement measurable programmatic digital out-of-home campaigns that are complemented by other addressable media types. This is something that will require some collaboration at the supply level as well. We predict there's likely going to be more collaboration with supply side platforms at the digital out-of-home and audio level, or the digital out-of-home and connected TV level, as well as other media formats. And the innovation coming from bespoke digital out-of-home DSPs will increase healthy competition and benefit brand marketers, as well as direct response marketers. We work with 34 different DSPs. They all have amazing product offerings, and we're seeing some amazing things that are occurring in regards to competition, and it's going to be great once the product lifecycle begins to develop. Due to this increased competition, I predict that omni-channel DSPs have begun to take note of the healthy competition and will begin improving or building user experiences and user interfaces that are built specifically for digital out-of-home. Given that there's this strong focus on audience and identity, and digital out-of-home has the ability to leverage audience identity, there's going to be an increased focus, and it's going to be great to be able to see that come to fruition. So what's next? I think the biggest thing is when you're looking at implementing a omni-channel ad experience that has programmatic digital out-of-home included, take a look at what's important to your team, understand what you're trying to achieve, and that will allow you to select the right partners or to select the right execution paths that are best for your team. And also, I think in general, digital out-of-home is considered a traditional channel, but as a group and as expert marketers, I think we need to think of programmatic digital out-of-home as a digital channel and a line item within a digital media plan, given that we are able to leverage audience and identity for targeting purposes. And if you work with an existing omni-channel DSP partner, ask about programmatic digital out-of-home, get a demo of their platform, and determine how to leverage all the tools that they have within their beautiful stainless steel toolbox. And if you haven't seen a demo from a bespoke digital out-of-home DSP, get one in the calendar. They're doing some amazingly disruptive things that are really driving innovation, and it's great to see that in a live demo format and actually touch and feel what they're doing. And in regards to data and privacy, identity and retargeting and proximity, it has some challenges as marketers from a data and privacy standpoint. But if we work with the appropriate partners, ask tough questions, and have a transparent approach, there shouldn't be any challenges in regards to obtaining this opted-in anonymous data for targeting purposes. And there's a tremendous amount of opportunity for marketers to work closely with their partners to determine an audience and identity solution that works for them when programmatic digital out-of-home is part of their inventory stack. And then, when you're going away and you're shutting off your monitor for the day, or maybe just turning it on and having a coffee, think about specific use cases for an omni-channel programmatic digital out-of-home activation. I think there's a tremendous amount of creative flexibility. There is an excellent opportunity to set up attribution and the proper measurement tools. But we also have to keep in mind that it's mostly based on opted-in data, and it's not going to be perfect from an attribution level. But there's ways to set up creative targeting and creative measurement to provide some beautiful graphs and some measurable tables that you can share to the appropriate stakeholders. So to wrap up and to give you a bit of a background of what Broadsign does, we're the world's largest ad server built specifically for the nuances of programmatic digital out-of-home. We also power a large portion of the globe's digital out-of-home networks from their traditional buying, from a traditional buying standpoint and a network operations standpoint. We also allow DSPs to create their own audience targeting and data triggering via our supply side platform. And about a year ago, we were just speaking about that today, Broadsign acquired Campsite, and we are, I should say, a digital out-of-home DSP and ad exchange that has built-in audience targeting. So when we speak to this, we're always trying to take an agnostic approach and make sure we recommend the appropriate partners for our demand partners. And we're happy to set up conversations with omnichannel DSPs or bespoke digital out-of-home DSPs, whichever your preference is.